Coming up September 14th, California is about to have a major election. It's a special election, a recall election of the former governor, or the current governor, Gavin Newsom, right?
Yeah.
Did you get your ballot? Did you get your ballot already?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's working out.
Yeah,
Everybody.
you told me to hurry up and dump it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, everybody should have their mail-in ballots right now. There's only one, thing on the ballot, which is, do you want to recall him? Yes or no? And if you
And
want,
then the second part of over 1,000 people who want to be the next governor of your choices, if you do decide to recall him.
right, exactly. And wow, like
And a bunch of them are clowns.
Yeah, like there's about, I think 50 people you can write in or vote for. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know where this is gonna go. I'm really hoping that he's not recalled. I'm gonna just be transparent. I'm not I guess I would more identify with, well, I don't know. If I'm registered as a Democrat, but I do, there's some Republican laws that or policies that I'm down with, and independent, but I don't want him to be recalled. I
Why?
think
The big sigh.
okay, well, I guess the biggest thing is that I looked at the people that are replacing him.
Yeah.
And there's no one that
who can replace, who might not replace him, but might replace him.
Yeah, who might replace them. They're just not up to par in my book whatsoever. And like, especially the leader, like the guy who is the hopeful, or the one in
Elder.
The lead. Yes. What's his name? Is it Lee Elder or
Larry Elder?
Yeah, he's like a radio broadcast conservative, and I was looking at his website, and I mean, okay, so he did a documentary. He's a filmmaker as well, called something about Uncle Tom. And as the first American conservative or something like that. And then I was looking at some other videos on his page, and he's kind of making jokes about how he dealt with racism, and how basically he doesn't believe in systematic racism. He's fully on like Blue Lives Matter type of guy. And I don't know, he just doesn't, and he's a black man. Man.
Is he from the hood? From the hood?
Yeah, from South Central. They call him the sage of South Central. And he talks a good talk, and I listened to him on a couple like conservative podcasts, and I caught his interview, and even the like guy that interviewed him was like, "Oh, you're just so articulate." And like, to me, that's such an insult as a black person. Like, you're gonna tell me I'm articulate just because I can like speak well, and I'm not just like, oh, woo, 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 or whatever. Like, I don't know. It was just kind of weird.
You don't talk like little baby or the baby. They expected him to talk like the baby.
Or he talks white. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why is white educated though? That's the thing. Like,
yeah.
Exactly. We could that could be another whole damn topic. But I agree with you. I hate when, like, I don't know if it's white people or even us, like, we'll say, "Oh, he's just so articulate." It's like, why? Because we're college educated. Like, should we use broken English every time, even if we're like, have 2 degrees? We should still talk Ebonics. Like, get the fuck out of here. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so that's basically why he's kind of like the what I'm perceiving as being like the top guy for the, basically he's supported by a lot of Republicans, a lot of conservatives. and he's the one that's supposed to be the one that could be the governor of California. And I'm
Well,
just like, I hope not. I really, really hope not.
But why? What's wrong with him to you?
For me, like I said, the biggest thing is, how do you not believe in systematic racism?
Mm-hmm.
Like, here, let me just go to his little site and pull that up. Oh, here it goes. Larry Elder. You can go to his website on epochtimes.com. Yeah, Larry Elder, who's the leading guy for the Republican Party. Like, on his page, you can go to his personal website, and these are some of the videos on his main page. Yep. Larry Elder tells funny jokes and stories of when he encountered racism. Mm-hmm. Then there's like another one where he's like, racism is no longer a major problem in America. And I'm like, how do you come to that conclusion, bro? And then there's this other video and then, okay, on top of that, you can't even watch the full videos. You have to like subscribe, and I think you might have to pay or whatever. So I just thought, okay, so he's, but that's his, how he makes his money.
He's trying to get his money, yeah.
As he's a radio show host. But then, okay, here's this one video, Democrats' hypocrisy on mask and vaccine mandates. This is probably the thing that really got me, which will lead into the next thing, is that I'm reading the description for this, the hypocrisy on mask and vaccine mandates. He says, differences of opinion are what freedom and America are all about. Thomas Jefferson warned us about trading freedom for public safety when he said, there is no justification for taking away individuals' freedom in the guise of public safety. So, me being me, I started like Googling that quote because I wanted to know like what context it was taken out of, because that's what people do. They just take things out of context. And I looked it up, I'm Googling it, can't find it, tried all these different things, it still doesn't come up. Do you know that quote was by Benjamin Franklin? It wasn't even Thomas Jefferson.
It wasn't Thomas Jefferson. It was the other white guy.
Right, but how are you gonna like, I don't know, I just bringing that point up, what I found in all my studies right now, or research or whatever, is that with all of this like Republican and the recall and all that, it's basically because it's just they're putting out like headlines and like and running in snapshots of periods of time, and like taking that information and putting that out there, but it might have some truth, but it's not all the way truthful. And I found that out with like going through all of this stuff. Like even like the basis of why the recall. You know what I'm saying?
Which is
like,
what?
So there's like these main groups like Rescue California, Recall Gavin 2020, like all these different grassroots sites of why they want to recall him. But I had looked up the actual recall petition, and on the recall petition of why they're recalling Newsom, it's for they basically don't want to, or they're mad that he endorsed foreign nationals in our country illegally, basically making California a sanctuary city. We have the highest taxes in the nation, the highest homelessness rates, the lowest quality of life. They're saying that's because now we have a low quality of life, whatever. And a lot of it was like immigration laws, and that he overruled the death penalty.
Yeah, as soon as he got into office, yeah.
Yeah, but so that's what was on the actual recall, and it had nothing to do with COVID. You know what I mean?
Not at that time, right?
Right, like not at that time, which is kind of interesting to me. It's like when they first, okay, so
isn't that a bad sign though? Like not even like for like right now, we we're saying COVID now, but even before that, there was more. Doesn't that make you want to question your governor? Keep going.
Yeah, but a
You know what I
lot of
mean? Like he's doing so many bad things, so intense that our community want to recall him. Like that's got to be telling. But keep going.
but my point is like the things that are on the recall petition, those were put out, the people who actually started the initial recall, they're
Mm,
they're pretty much Trump supporters and like far right
sure.
extremists, and
Hmm.
all the things that are on the petition
Yeah.
are what's the word I'm looking for? It's what do you call it? That
Like fickle, or like right wing things.
oh
Like,
yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's like right wing rhetoric. You
but
know
do
what I mean?
you agree with any of them?
Uh yeah,
Not just because they don't think about them being Republican or Trump supporters. The things
right.
that they want to recall him for, are they legit to you?
No.
Okay, so
That's
you agree with the death penalty of not having a death penalty.
um I mean that I'm kind of indifferent on.
And
It
then do you
depends.
also agree that
It's
he? Go ahead.
no, on the death penalty, it depends. Like, did they do all their due diligence? Like, is this guy you're about to kill, did he actually do the crime? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because there's a lot of people that are in jail or in the system that actually didn't do the crime.
And there's a lot of
So,
people who they did execute, who they later found out didn't do it.
yeah,
I don't know the percentage of that, but there are some cases whom they, and I remember one that I saw on YouTube. They did a doc on it, like a
yeah,
small little episode on it. That they, because of technology now, better technology, they were able to figure out that the person they executed, which is like a few months too late or whatever, he
right.
didn't do the crime. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But you're
like,
always going to have that. I mean, we're never going to be perfect, but not only did he do that, but he did that almost. I think they're saying that it's illegally he did that.
why did
So
he do it though?
he, because
Well,
he had an agenda.
what
Who
was his
knows
agenda?
why? He never. I don't think he ever shared that. It's just he
Okay.
went in there. That was like one of the first things he did. It's like what are you, what? So I
Yeah.
mean, if that's what he did, and I'm just going off what these news sites are saying, without saying any reason, then I don't think that's cool. But also, I don't know the agenda. I don't know why he did that. I don't know. I approve of the death penalty immensely, and but that's not the reason
Yeah.
that I would be for or against the recall. But go ahead.
Right. But, and also, okay, the other issue, the big issue that is reoccurring on this petition is immigrants.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm totally fine with immigrants coming here. Like, I mean, I don't know why they would want to, but there's like
Yeah,
so
go
much
to New
going on.
Mexico. Don't go here. Don't come here.
Yeah, like California
There's so many
expensive.
other states you could go to.
Yeah, California is super expensive. But so like but I mean I do believe that immigrants should come here the right way or whatever and not
Yeah, the legal way. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that's just kind of dangerous for your life even. But so so yeah. I mean, but I don't believe that I don't believe them for that. But I guess that's what they're kind of mad about is that they think he's allowing them to come in illegally. But a lot of the stuff, like I said, is Trump talking points. And then like when you go and read like some of the other like grassroots organization stuff online, they're saying, like this one company, Rescue California, they have an actual indictment of Newsom on their
Hmm.
web on their website, right? So I'm just like, what? Like they're indicting him. Like it's like a unofficial indictment or
Yeah.
whatever. But so I'm looking at it and they're like 58 counts of this or that. So I'm like, well, let me read that. That's kind of crazy. So I click on it. It's like 8 pages and there's only 9 indictments or 9 reasons why they're like wanting to indict him. So that's even like misleading, because they were kind of, hoping that people wouldn't click on and actually go further and read, beyond the headline. And I feel like the Republican side, they do that a lot,
I mean, that's even 9 too many, though. I mean, you want to, be the president or the governor or the mayor and not have anything on your jacket, but
yeah,
that's 9 too many.
No, but they're making it up. Like, I mean, okay, so like I said, they
so
take
nothing.
like,
what do you mean they're making? So, well, the indictment is legit, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like
it's not legal. It's not legally formed.
It's not legally binding, and it's just basically, I was reading the indictment, and it was very emotional. It didn't have facts. The facts that were included in it were like for instance, like the rise in crime in California. Like, yeah, there was a rise in crime in carjackings and murder. It increased, right? But violent crimes and like what was it? Home burglaries like went down. Overall, like crime went down. But homicides and carjacking did go up. And then the other point on that, they were like, oh, it went up 31% and 40% and all this stuff. But I looked it up, and this independent agency, they were saying that, they gave the numbers of what it was going up. So like, for example, it was like 273 and it went up to like 300. So that was technically a 31% increase or something like that. But the numbers are still considerably low when the population's in the millions. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's how they like word stuff that's like misleading to me. It's very misleading. So I don't like it. I just don't trust it. I don't trust it. And I just don't think, and then that was the other thing I was gonna say, like to start this off, is like, they didn't have enough signatures to recall him until after that incident at French Laundry.
In Napa Valley.
And then after that, that's when people got mad.
People got upset because they were like, you trying to make us stay home, but you ain't staying home, and you ain't distancing. Okay, exactly. Social distancing. Yeah, I see the hypocrisy.
Yeah, exactly. So he was.
So they were waiting for one thing for him to mess up, and they caught it. He messed up, and then they went in for the kill. It's like a tiger, seeing that open space to come in and bite you, and when you see that vulnerability, they go in and
yeah, exactly. Like they caught him. Like, and that's the thing. When you're a leader, you are held to a higher standard. Yep. So you should act accordingly. Yep. And I mean, the photos were leaked, but still, you gotta be right all the way behind closed doors. But my other thing is, okay, that's fine if that's what you guys want to get them on. But see, but at that point, when people saw that, I think more people got upset because, like you said, we don't have to stay home. We have to stay home, but you don't have to stay home. So people were upset about that. But if we're gonna talk about like morals and ethics, like we got to do that for both parties all the way across, because Trump, Ron DeSantis, that got John Abbott out in Texas, and then Ron DeSantis in Florida. Those guys aren't ethical and moral, and you know what I mean? Like, in Donald Trump, he was the most corrupt Republican ever, and he was the president. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have a double standard, and you can't be hypocritical. Like, if you want to judge people on their personal mores, I don't think. And that's really where he messed up. And that's really where this recall got the steam, is because that happened, Mm-hmm. And I understand, I get it. But on policy, he hasn't done anything terribly wrong in my eyes.
Okay.
So like, hey, like, I don't think he should be recalled. There isn't anyone who could do a better job than him at this point. I don't think. Like there is that one guy Cox who I guess is also a contender in the Republican Party that's being supported, but he went against Newsom in
And lost.
2019 and lost
Yep.
by unprecedented numbers or whatever they were saying. So I mean that we already had that election. You already lost. Like, and the other cold part about this is this recall. Like, if Republicans are supposed to be so fiscal and have all these fiscal policies, then this election is costing like $80 million, whereas you guys could have just did this next year when his term came up. But you guys
2023. January
really?
2023, yeah.
29, yeah, I guess
so one more year and then
yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. So the people, like I said, that are a part of this recall, like the leaders that are listed on the actual recall petition, they're just not. They're definitely Trump supporters. They did get a lot of their early support from like people like the Proud Boys and other right-wing extremists, and that's where they were. But now he's like backpedaling and saying, no, we're not affiliated with any of those people, but you guys had them at your rallies. They were like promoting your rallies. You didn't have a problem with that then. And then, so it's like
I don't think they knew about them though. I don't think it's like the little groups, little factions in there where they don't really pay attention. So they're not going to outwardly say something.
No, but everybody at that time knew who the Proud Boys were. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you're having a rally, a recall, and you see the Proud Boys there, and you're saying, "Oh, they're our security," and that's it. Or
who said that?
What are those people?
I mean, did anybody know about them until Trump shouted them out?
Freedom Angels, like
Freedom Angels.
Yeah, that's like a whole nother anti.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
But it's all those kind of people, like a lot of right-wing extremists who, started this. But now, more people got involved because they didn't like the handling of, of COVID and all the protocols that Newsom has been putting in place. But what I think is kind of tricky too is on their website where you can like download the petition to sign and all that stuff. On the front of it, like before you click to download and actually read what's on the petition, it says nothing about what's on the petition. It's all about the COVID stuff and how he handled this and mandates, and so it's like misleading. It's like it's not transparent to me. It's a lot of like trying to smoke and mirrors, like trying to.
They also bring up the homelessness and the housing thing, right? Too, and the taxes, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, those are the big talk points.
Yeah, and I mean it's true because when you look around, like now in Elk Grove where I live, you see homeless people. You didn't see that before. And living in Los Angeles, downtown LA, it was crazy homelessness. And Skid Row's been there before Newsom.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I understand when you're a leader, all that falls on you. Yep. But, this has been a problem in California. And I really honestly think that he's kind of had a wake-up call because, he's understanding that you can't just have your privilege, because he comes from a family of wealth and of political power. So it's like, and he's done great things, as the mayor of San Francisco and all that stuff. But, you're trying to be president. He's trying to go for president. So you got to kind of step it up. You can't just, rely on your good looks and charm and your family and your
good hair.
And your good hair and your associations to like get you further. Like you're going to be judged on a national scale now. And so I think he is stepping it up. Like I don't know, he's a good spokesman. But there are a couple things that he did that it's just kind of like, what? How did that happen? Like on the ballot, he's not even labeled as a Democrat because they did some kind of like
Well,
paperwork.
his team messed that up, but
Yeah, but still, it's
we
like,
know.
okay, yeah, it's like, who's on your team though? Like, we need you to be sharper than that.
They like talk about how much that person's getting paid, and it's like you had one job. That one job meme. If you could get that meme,
Yeah,
you had
exactly.
one job.
You had one job,
You
and
had
who
one
knows?
job.
That might cost them the election because a lot of people aren't very informed.
What do you
There's a
mean the
lot of
election for the recall or the 2023?
for
Or
the recall
okay, uh-huh.
because there's a lot of low information voters where they'll just see the ballot and they'll be like, huh, what?
Yeah.
Like where's the Democrat? Like that's how I used to vote. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, oh, I'm voting for all the Democrats and all, and but yeah, so you never know. That could mess him up. But and that's kind of what the Republicans are hoping is that that the Republicans turn out and that we don't turn out. Like we're not energized or Democrats aren't energized, whatever.
Right.
But I think we are because I want to have mass mandates. Maybe not vaccine mandates. I'm still a little, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm still trying to like process that. But what do you think about that? Like, do you think there should be vaccine mandates?
Well, I was going to get into all that, but I'm on the fence because I feel like if you're dumb enough to not to wear a mask, then I don't have any. I have no sympathy. We talked about this before. I don't know if we talked about this privately or not, but I don't have any empathy for anybody who puts all of us in danger. So if you feel like you are too pretty or you too right wing to protect all of us as a unit and want to disregard our health because of whatever you believe in, whether it's science or religion, and or you feel like you put on too much makeup and you want to look pretty, you want to be seen, to not wear the mask, then if you catch the COVID or whatever, or you give it to your loved ones, bye.
Yeah.
Or see you in the hospital.
Yeah, but the thing I don't understand is like, I mean, I don't know, like, because I was trying to find info on that, and I can't really find info on how people feel that mask mandates and vaccine, more so mask mandates and vaccine mandates, why they basically
why
they take away your freedom? Like, how do those take away your freedom?
Because you're not letting them choose. You're giving them a mandate, just like the cigarette thing was. Like, you can't smoke in indoor places anymore. It's the same thing as that. Like, that is a freedom that has been taken away. But that also was taken away because it was, secondhand smoke is a real thing. COVID and spreading COVID is a real thing. So because you guys are acting like babies, you have to be parented. I don't care how many kids you got. I don't care how many bills you pay or how much money you make. You're acting like a baby when the lab people and the scientists and the science is telling you that this is a virus, and to stop the spreading, you have to wear a mask. Now they're trying to implement a mandate because you can't follow orders. And like we probably said before in different episodes, a lot of scientists are saying. And researchers and whatnot are saying if we all were in unison and wore the mask, we probably wouldn't have to wear the mask at this moment and it wouldn't be an issue. But because you guys have a problem with Democrats or whatever, or religion or whatever, you want to bring religion into shit, then we have to put up with this and we have to wear masks.
Yeah, exactly. And I did hear some of that as a complaint of how he was putting regulations on people not being able to worship in church. Like that was a real thing. Like people were really upset about that. Some conservative folks, they were saying that
really? I thought there'd be more. They don't want it in the school?
No, they were saying that they were mad that Gavin closed down houses of worship You know, like
Oh,
they couldn't go to church. And
yeah.
and my whole thing is, it's like, that was, for your public safety. Like, you could still, nobody said, like, and that's the thing, like, I'm a Christian, I'm a devout Christian, or I mean, I'm closely most related to that religion, let's put it that way. And
Okay.
so the thing is, the church is wherever you make it. The church isn't just within some walls. Like, just because you can't go to your church doesn't mean you can't worship God.
Yeah, but we all know that wasn't it. It was more about either about them being able to socialize or that Newsom is a Democrat. That's what that was about. It had nothing to do personally to Newsom. It was more about he's a Dem, and anything a Dem says, we're going to be opposed because it's us versus them, and it's separatism, and it's petty. It's just a whole petty
No, it is petty.
situation.
Yeah, no, it's super petty. But Republicans, they're very strategic. They're very strategic, and they know what they're doing. So yeah, I was listening to this podcast called Freedom First, and Mike Netter, who was one of the guys on the petition, one of the founders of the petition or whatever, they were, they're very strategic in how they're going about all of this. Because they were saying that, you don't take, like, it was a total, like, blast to, I guess, the Black Lives Matter movement. And they were saying, we're not going to do that. We're gonna be strategic, and we're gonna get signatures, not starting riots and going out and looting. And it's like, they know this, they know how to fight. They were like, fight with the pen and not with the sword. So, like, they know how the system works.
Yes. Yes.
And that's where we kind of mess up, because they like Trump. He seemed like he tried to come off like he was dumb, but Trump, they're not dumb. Like, although they're very strategic, they know how things work, and they're gonna learn the system, and they're gonna go find the loopholes, and they're gonna make it happen. Like this recall, like, they've tried this recall 5 times against Newsom, and this is the 6th one, and it finally worked. So, and there's kind of some controversy around that too, because a judge, due to the pandemic, extended the amount of time to get signatures for it, which was kind of interesting to me too. It's like, So I don't know. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Yeah. Like, at first I was kind of like,
what?
How cults, like Jim Jones and Charles Manson and like all these cult leaders, I'm like, how do they even get followings? Like, but I get it now. Like,
because of the word, and you kind of you what do you call it? You feed on the weak. You know what I'm saying? You say it's like take Larry Elder. He speaks so well, and he's a black man, and yada yada yada. Okay, that dispels anything racial that the Dems can throw at them, right? Because he's a black man, right? And then he's articulate, he's educated, and he comes out that way. So him speaking like the way he does, and using the rhetoric that he does, can very much influence black, brown, and white people, because he knows how to mince words, so to speak. So yes, pen over the sword, absolutely.
Yeah, I think they call it code talking, where how to, like,
code switching, but he doesn't code switch, because I've never heard him go, yo, what up? You know what I mean? He's always
he's the sage of South Central. Like,
he's always Carlton.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, he might be in private, or he might be around black people. Like, I don't say the N word unless I'm around my people.
I don't know though.
You know what I mean? I don't do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying he might. If he's a code switcher, that's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. But like, wait, I'm trying to find the name of his.
You never know.
Yeah.
We'll be Carlton in public, but then we'll, Fresh Prince in private.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, he's an interesting dude.
Well, for me, or you got any more? Or you?
I think that is pretty much everything that I was. Oh, there was one thing that kind of irritated me too. That's kind of relevant with what's going on today, real fast. This is a short thing, but
no worries.
On August 4th, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, he wrote an op-ed in Fox News or whatever, and he was saying that like these are his exact words. He was like to Nancy, he was directing this to Speaker Nancy Pelosi. You will not arrest or stop me or anyone on my staff from doing our jobs. We have all either had COVID, had the vaccine, or been offered the vaccine. We will make our own health choices. We will not show you a passport. We will not wear a mask. We will not be forced into random screening and testing so you can continue your drunk with power reign over the Capitol. But yet, Republicans just passed the abortion law in Texas, where they don't give the woman choice over their body. Yet you could have choice over wearing a mask or taking a vaccine, but you can't choose to have.
Well, because that's again religion. That's religious. That got nothing to do with politics. That has everything to do with religion. And what's that show called on Hulu?
Well, I mean, and they were saying that a lot of white women are having abortions, and based on the census that just passed not too long ago, the white race is declining. So that's also rumored why they want to keep people from having abortions, because white women are high up there at killing the babies. But and they want to preserve their race. I've heard that argument as well. So I don't know if it's truly religious, because a lot of Republican stuff, sometimes I wonder if they even read the Bible, because the things that they do, it's not in the Bible. It's not like the Bible is so opposite of what they're doing.
I know, but how many versions are there of the Bible? And again, like, they're trying to create another Handmaid's Tale in reality. You know what I mean? Like men over no equality, men ruled, societies, and heavy on the Christianity. So, yeah. I mean, it's all and preservation of white pure Christian man.
Yeah, exactly. And they've been doing that since the beginning of time. And
now they're able to gain power in high positions when they can get squeezed in there or coerced in there. And you got judges and politicians now, and if you're able to do it, they're going to do it because they have an agenda.
Yeah. So
my whole okay.
No,
yeah, it's deep. Oh no, it's definitely deep. It's actually a game that people aren't privy to, because they got their own lives to live until it affects them. Until it messes up the lawn in front of their house, they don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're worried about themselves, taking care of their families. Worrying about money and finances and stuff like that. So they don't see past their front yard. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem in itself, because if this stuff did go down, if this Handmaid's Tale go down, they're going to be hit on the side of the head. You know what I'm saying? Without knowing, who threw the damn rock. You know
yeah. See, I need to be under his eye, and I need to watch that. I watched like the first couple episodes, and some of the things they said was hecka funny. I'm like, under his eye. Like, me and my friend, we used to joke and say that to each other, under his eye or whatever.
Yeah, that's who that is. But yeah. So me researching this, and I'm glad we did this, made me rethink the recall. But I agree with you. Like, I think this put more fuel under his fire. But I also believe this. He reminds me of Obama, and with the universal healthcare situation, which they keep saying Obamacare, and and the Republicans use that jargon to make it a talking point, where Obama never called it that in the beginning.
Right.
So Newsom has started a lot of programs. He's got a lot of guns off the street. He's doing what he can, right? He's one man. You know what I'm saying? He only has a few years to make an impact. he with the homeless, he's done, project, room key and then home key or how, housing key for, the housing situation. Let let him finish. He has one more year to go. If I do, because I haven't decided yet, but if I do say no, hopefully he continues on. You know what I'm saying? Because he's doing what he can. Sure, he got caught at some restaurant. Okay, fine. Let's keep going. You know what I'm saying? Let's get over that. Because we gotta be real. That was all emotional, right? Everybody's emotional.
Yeah, super emotional.
Super emotional. You take, you handle, 100,000, to 1 million people and tell them they can't go back outside. You take his position and see how you control that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hard role to take on, especially in even the presidency. You clean up somebody else's mess that they made for 8 years. Mm-hmm. You clean up the Bush administration as Obama. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta give Newsom a chance. I know I talk shit about him to you privately and to other people. You know what I mean? Because I said he wasn't doing a good job, but I was aware of all the programs we had, and it made me put it in more in the perspective of 2023 in January. Let's see what he can do if he is not recalled for the next year. Because, like you said too, they wasting millions of dollars on this, yo. Like, for what? To put something on his jacket because it looks bad, and then if he wants to run for something else, it's like, yo, but you have this recall. It's already there. The damage is basically almost done. If he wanted to run, they could all, Repubs or whoever his opponents can always throw this whole situation back at him, just like Trump, and trying to impeach him and stuff. And I think they tried to impeach him twice.
Yeah, they did.
So, and then Larry you want to say something?
No, I was just gonna say, because like Gray Davis, who was recalled, like there's only been 2 recalls, I think, in history of California.
Right, and now he's gonna, so now he's part of that. So Larry
if it goes through,
So Larry Elder was a strong candidate for me because, yes, he's Black. Yes, he's from the hood. I think a better candidate is always somebody who's been in the grind, right? Who knows firsthand of what's going on the streets, because you being an outsider really doesn't do us any good. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not in there. You could come and visit for some like campaign run or whatever, but you're not in the grind. These people are in the grind. They know what's going on. They can tell you this, that, and the third. But if you have never lived that, and you come from a place of privilege, you're not gonna feel what I'm saying. You just see it on the outside. You only see the result. You haven't seen how that result happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't see the process of me throwing poo-poo in front of somebody's face.
Yeah,
because you don't know how I got there.
Yeah, because Newsom, he definitely came from privilege. I don't know Larry Elder's story. I know he has it on his page, but I did not watch it.
I mean, if it's true, he's from Compton. He's from South Central. I mean, so it's like he knows what we're going through.
But then how do you not see systematic racism, and how do you not see cops are, I mean, I don't know. Like, can't even say.
Well, because he's not the only
bad apples. No,
right.
It's a lot.
He's not the only Black person who said this though. Like there's I think there's Officer Tatum, obviously Candace Owens.
Well, but they're right.
There's other Black. Yeah, but other Black people who see it at a different angle.
Yeah, but Candace Owens, she's right-wing crazy too, though.
But the funny thing about all these Black people who are Republican or right wing or whatever, they're all for Black people. They are pro-Black. If you listen to them actually talk, they are pro-Black.
No, they are. No, even
though they'll have like other they'll be dating others, you know what I mean, or married to others, Ophes or whatever, but they still want us to do good. But
no, they do. I agree
but they need to, but we need to as well, need to get over ourselves. We need to like, put ourselves in a different position and not the twerking in a restaurant position. You know what I mean? Like we have to have some stability, and some humble pie.
Absolutely.
We all can't. Some of us want to play hockey. We all can't play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Some of us want to be bankers. We all can't.
Right.
Be
But my thing
in
is,
the music industry or whatever.
But you can't deny facts, and there's systematic racism all through is documented throughout American
100%,
history.
100%.
So like that's my biggest thing with all of them though. Like they're not believing facts. You know what I'm saying?
I think what they and I'm not trying to speak for them, but I think what they're trying to come at it through an educational or in a military, in a financial way. You know what I mean? Like, let's say like all the black situations, like
they're trying to empower people to not be like on welfare and like get out there and get a job, basically.
Yeah, and stop saying the white man did this or the overseas did. Okay, if the white man did that to you, why did Kevin Hart make it? If Kevin Hart felt the same way you did, Kevin Hart wouldn't be Kevin Hart. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm picking celebrities because they made it.
With you. Yeah.
Tiffany Haddish is one of the best ones. She came from that era or in that area, and she made it because of perseverance. What's wrong with you? Now, I'm not saying you have to be a comedian or have some talent, but you could definitely. There's always ways to get education. There's
always a way to choose between right and wrong.
Maybe not buy those Yeezys and say that $400, put it towards your savings or invest it in crypto instead of buying some goddamn Yeezys so you can go party and then somebody step on your Yeezys. Now you want to act like an N-word because somebody stepped on your shoe. Now you get into a conversation. Now you're going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like take yourself out of those situations because we don't need to be. Take yourself out of those cliche, black, in inner city situations and get and do something with your life instead of doing what you see on TV because somebody looks like you.
Well, the big trend not too long ago was, people were choosing violence. Like a lot of people choose violence, and we have to figure out why we're so ready to go, like so ready to fight, like. And not
because we don't have role models. There's another part of the systematic racism that is apparent is the welfare system. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. I think it was like Larry Elder did touch on this, which is weird that you say he doesn't believe in systematic racism because he brought it up in one of his talks. So I don't know what's going on. I didn't hear him actually say that. But it's like it's weird because he did bring up like welfare. The fathers aren't in the home, and that's important. He's saying it's important for the fathers to be in the house, and who doesn't agree with that? But then welfare is like, we're not giving you any money unless if the father's in the home. So then the mom's like, well, you gotta go, and then she gets more because if she has more kids, and so those kids aren't being raised, and then she gets lazy or whatever. The cliche. Inner city black woman, and then she gets all this money for the kids, but then there's no guidance with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because the father's gone or he's doing his own thing. He's probably making more kids or doing bad stuff, whatever, and he gets in jail or ends up dead or whatever. And the kids are just running all over the place. Not to say though, a lot of we get a lot of brothers who have been raised by a single mom. I have some friends who are doing very well. You know what I'm saying? I think LeBron James is one, right? I don't want to say it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I don't know. Kevin Hart is one. He was raised primarily by his mother. A lot of black men have great mothers and they do very well. You know what I'm saying?
Or grandmothers. They're raised by grandmothers, not even.
But statistically, a good father, I'm not going to say father because a father could be in a home and be a horrible father.
Right.
Statistically, a 2-parent household is a better household. Yes. Okay, that's a parent. But then again, that's a parent. But then again, thank you. It is the character of the mother and the father, because the mother could be a bitch too, has to be a good role model for the children as well. Just because you have parents doesn't mean they're good parents. Right. But anyway, so like for me again,
exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point. Because people can have their parents there and nobody's, feeding into the children properly.
Yeah, I mean, the mom could be working 2, 3 jobs to pay the rent or whatever, and then there's no guidance for the kids. I mean, how many times have we seen that part in celebrities and in personal life? So, and then but just by chance or whatever, they either fall victim to the streets, or they find a mentor and either they go that route. I mean, it's a roll of the dice. It's a gamble. And to be honest, though, this happens in middle class. This happens in even like high class. There's parents who are making six, eight, seven, eight figures, and they're never home. So the
Right.
kids by
And they're
himself
raised by
being
a
raised by
nanny.
a nanny,
Yeah.
and then that's not my mom or whatever, but I give her props. But like I end up taking advantage of my privilege, and my money and my backing it, and I'm acting like this. I'm gun running. I'm selling meth and pills in the clubs. I own the club. You know what I mean? Like I can but I'm acting unruly and wherever I'm throwing sardines at the waitress because she didn't give it to me right. I'm running all over the place. Like it,
Right.
it doesn't matter. Your
Yeah.
class doesn't matter. Your parents. It depends on how you're raised. And if you're not
Yeah.
raised by somebody who's coherent and slightly educated or have street knowledge and knowledge
Common
of everything
sense or common sense.
and common sense, you're not going to be a good kid. And that's just how it is. I was being able to be raised by a cliche kind of household where I had a housewife as a mom, and then my dad and my mom threw some gems at me and my sister. So I was very lucky in that way. And a lot of kids, or a lot of my peers, I kind of had to give them gems, and they gave me gems to keep them straight. You know what I'm saying? We had to be each other's role models. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? If anything, we had to find our role models on the streets and stuff. So class really doesn't matter. It just the parents, and that's kind of a tangent. But anyway, um, back on the topic though. Yeah. Um, I guess that's the only thing I wanted to bring up was like I get why repubs want to recall and everybody else, they think he's doing a bad job, whatever. Maybe they don't see because and there's so many factors that go into how much news you see, how much the negative stuff you read. Where's the positive stuff? Did you even look for the positive stuff that he's doing? Did you just
Um,
focus on not you? I'm talking about in general, like
oh yeah.
the people who are against him. Like, did you just decide to be like, yo, I need to be against something. Let me see what Newsom is not doing, and then
Right.
get on. You know what I'm saying? But I
Well,
think what's going to really deter him is the Latino vote, because they really got upset about how he handled. I guess he handled the COVID situation, and a lot of them lost their businesses. I seen firsthand of a few places that closed down during last year. That was one of my favorite spots, and I was very pissed off about it. But
yeah.
they're affected because they do mostly their population does service work, and they were affected. So
Yeah.
that vote is really going to determine probably the recall. You know what I mean? Because they are
Yeah.
affected immensely.
And I think that's how people go about all these elections. It's like people could say whatever they want to say, but once they're directly affected by a policy, then that's when they're like, oh, something has to change,
Yeah, that's why they threw that French Laundry so hard out there, because
It was
it was
personal.
it was personal. It was a contradiction of what he was saying, and on the other, and then people had to stay home and not work. Like a lot of people lost jobs, housing. You know what I'm saying? Had to go on unemployment, had to stay in that long ass line. Had to go on. Some of them don't know how to go online. You know what I mean? It's just they had to go through a lot. And these are citizens. These are all Latino, black, brown
Yeah.
citizens, even white.
Yeah.
Uh, having to deal with this situation.
Yeah. A
uh
lot of people, a lot of small businesses had to shut their doors. They had to. And
yeah,
and with
regardless
all
of
the
color.
with all the PPE loans or not PP, the PPP loans, you know what I mean? People,
I need
they,
some PP loans. I
right.
need some PP and poo poo loans.
Stop it. But that was one of the things he was being criticized for too after the fact of this petition was the fraud, all the EDD fraud. And that was the other thing. It's like, see, y'all messing stuff up. Like a lot of people did that EDD fraud and PPP loan fraud, and now, you know, that's falling on Newsom. Basically, not that anybody cares really. Like that, people don't care about that. They're just worried about getting their money.
Yeah, and then again, like the homeless situation, I can't tell you how many. I think we probably talked about this too privately. There's so many places where the homeless are gone. I don't know where they're gone, but those programs are working. I have friends and who are working in those areas. The programs are alive and kicking. We can't force everybody, the homeless people, to go to do them because some of them are far gone, and I'm pretty sure they're working on that too, to give them a place to stay and give them the medicine that they need. It takes time. All this takes time. Then I'm not, I can't get in the office one day and then the next day take guns off the street. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. The police reform, like, it doesn't work that way in the sense that okay, we talk about it today, we pass it today, tomorrow we implement it and it goes by and it works the next week. There's trials to be done. There's things that have to be changed. You know what I mean? Like,
but I don't think 4 years is enough time.
It's not. It really isn't.
Never is.
It never is, dude. Like, if you again, the universal health situation, what's it called? Program.
The
Affordable Care Act, the ACA. Who knows if it would have been officially or fully implemented with changes and revisions and stuff like that? It would have worked. But he didn't have time. You guys, his time was done. Like, and then Trump wants to do Trump care. You know what I mean? And take over. Take all the people who voted for him, who had the ACA and was doing fine and whatever. He's taking that away, and you guys voted for him. And now you're like,
but it's still in place. They couldn't take it away because I'm actually about to switch over to Covered California from my Kaiser plan, and it's like $200 less a month.
Okay.
So that's real. Like, so
I might have to look into that.
Okay. I'm trying to tell you, like, you could get good coverage through Cover California, the Affordable Care Act stuff, for like $76 a month.
But is that PPO
based
or
off
HMO?
of your wages? Huh?
Is that PPO or HMO? Does it depend?
I believe it is an HMO. Yeah. They have their HMO deductible plans.
Yeah, because Kaiser be taking out.
No, Kaiser's too expensive. It's
and then what's funny is there's a limit on how many times you can go. At least for me, I'm on HMO. There's a limit on how many times you can go, because there was a time a few years back that I had to go a lot because of physical therapy, and then they were like, "Oh, you're like, you're about to use too much for this year." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Okay, that's a fine print. Like,
I need to go to physical therapy. Like, that's what my doctor said. Now you're telling me I'm going too many times. So like, that was kind of ill to me.
Yeah, no.
That's never happened to me. But that's never happened to me either, where I had to go to physical therapy, like, for almost like every once a week or whatever. So
yeah, that's the whole other conversation. The health.
That's a whole other call. Yeah, health. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, I could say a whole lot about that too.
Oh, I know. I dated a nurse who was telling me some janky shit, and that's a nurse. That's a dang nurse.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, here's just some more reasons currently why the recall's in place. They're saying that he's on a spending spree with trying to keep people. The reason he spent so much money on the COVID thing, in my mind, is because, like, if he's going to make you stay home, how are you going to work? How are you going to make money? So he did he spent a lot of money on that, on trying to keep people not home, keep people fed, basically, if they can't go to work. And then, of course, and these are all problems we're going to have to deal with in California, regardless who's in office. The cost of living in California needs to be addressed, the housing crisis, which I found out that a lot of this has to do with regulations imposed by government's policies, and not like developing houses. Like, the supply and demand is too low, but they're trying to also keep the environment safe from housing development. So it's a lot at things at stake in California. Climate change and the wildfires and keeping the brush, maintained to help minimize fires is going to be an issue. The rise in crime, that is kind of up and down. And they don't have,
up and down.
Yeah, they don't have any data on as to how the reasoning for the fluctuations in crime, but it is relatively low. And then of course that people are going to have to address the rise in homelessness and
which is being worked on right now. And then yes, the water crisis, but the homeless situation is being worked on as we speak. But go ahead. So the water situation.
Yeah, and then from driving from Sacramento to Los Angeles, going through the Central Valley, you see all those signs about, you could tell it's very Republican, and because there's an issue with water and how it's being diverted, and people are trying to keep the environment safe and species protected, but then the farmers need the water, so it's just a lot of compromise, and there's not enough resources. That's kind of what I'm finding. Everybody needs something, but it's not possible to satisfy everyone, and these problems are going to be in California issues after Newsom, you know what I mean? So if Newsom gets recalled, these people, they're going to have to address the stuff, or they'll be recalled. I'll be the first one to start the recall.
I think for me, what I saw in Elder and the other Republicans, even Democrats or whatever, because for me, I'm a centrist. I'm an independent. You know what I'm saying? And I hear both sides. I don't rely on my emotions. I rely on what you're saying, and I've seen both sides lie. Yeah. Both sides are scandalous. There's no perfect person. Nobody is an angel. But I think for me is, I wanted to kind of shake things up because it's okay, Newsom's been doing this. He did this in San Francisco. Now he's in here, he's in LA where I'm at. And I'm I see things firsthand, and I do see changes. But I'm also we need maybe, shake things up is what I was thinking. But
don't shake things up with a Trump. Don't shake things up with a Trump. We shook things up
with a Trump, and we saw how that went.
We had an insurrection.
We went from classy to ashy.
Okay.
And now, but this is different. We actually have somebody who's educated. Actually, have a few people on the ballot who's actually educated and who can maybe do some things on both sides, right? So that's what another part where I was coming from when I was sharing with you earlier that I was for the recall. And now again, because of the research, I am not so sure now. You know what I'm saying? So
you're still, so now you feel you're definitely gonna vote no, or
no? Now I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, now I don't know. Before I was for sure Elder. I was saying yes. Elder.
You were gonna vote for Elder? What?
100%. Because I think also with because my thing
doesn't believe in racism.
But what's that got to do with Los Angeles and reforming LA and helping the homeless people and helping reforming the police? Because he's for that. He's for that.
No, he's not for defunding.
No. Reforming, not defunding.
Yeah, he's not for reallocating.
I'm not for that either. I
think they should reallocate funds.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't believe it. Personally, I think we need to reform the police, not defund the police. And I know the jargon that they probably shouldn't have used defund. Yeah. I know what they mean, right. But I don't think anyone. In fact, I think they should have free healthcare, more free therapy, and more money in their pockets for more incentive. What they need
more training, and they need to not go to.
Yes, this is reform. This is reform. Everything you're saying, I agree with. This is all reform. And this is what Elder needs. This is what Elders talked about. We need to stop here. We need to stop thinking of that. Again, that's emotional, right? I'm going on what he said, not what he did, or he put a gun on his girl, allegedly, all this stuff. Who cares?
He did?
Yeah. Well, that's what they said, allegedly. He said, but
hold up. Elder, I didn't even hear this.
But he said that wasn't true. He said he doesn't. This is the rhetoric that they're saying about him, like they're doing with Newsom with the French laundry. They're saying they're
But
trying
that
to.
happened. That happened. Newsom
Right.
was there. They have video.
But they're acting on the fact that at a certain time he did this, right? So now they're trying to find things on Elder. So now they saw, his ex-girlfriend has brought up the gun thing. So he says it's not true. She says it is. It's like we're not emotional, but that's emotional.
No, right? It's just facts. These Republican dudes, Matt Gaetz, Donald Trump, I mean, Andrew Cuomo, he wasn't Republican, but hey, a lot of these men in power do some shady things to women.
Still emotional though, because you don't know. I don't know. We don't know, right?
People look past it. Like Donald Trump, if 40 women come out and say that you did it, like you did it. Like,
but now you're putting him in the same ilk with these other people.
Well, I haven't even heard the story until just now, so I don't even know.
I'm telling you, the girlfriend's saying yes, he's saying no. This is another Cosby, whatever. This is another man versus woman, a misogyny versus misandry, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like us versus them. You know what I mean? It's like they're trying to find. What I'm trying to say is they're trying to find every little thing about Elder to discredit his
My thing is with that, people discredit themselves with their actions in their past. Period. If he didn't have an altercation with her or whatever, then
But what's that got to do with me in my campaign and what I want to do for California?
Because you're supposed to be a leader. It's my kind of leader.
How does that not make me a leader?
That you beat up on women?
I didn't beat up on her. I allegedly pulled out a gun. And let's say this. Wait, Stacy. What if I pulled out my gun to clean it? She was there out in the kitchen. In her mind, she's like, I hate guns. I'm like, I'm cleaning the gun. Like,
is that what happened? Is that what happened?
We don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
I thought he talked more about that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like we're going off of he say she said, and then you being in your situation, you could be like, oh, I believe her because I'm a woman, and then in my situation, I could be like, oh, I believe him because I'm a man. It's not fair.
No,
it's never going to be fair.
Yeah,
we're always going to have a bias, and then you bring up the other guys of his ilk because they're Republican, or it's a woman who accuse them of sexual whatever, and it's true, or whatnot, or what they perceive to be.
But I just don't understand.
And you put him in the same category, and it's not fair.
Right, but I just don't understand how like Republican guys can just deny it and their allegations will just disappear versus like the Democrat guys. Like it was, I think his name is Al Franken. Like he was.
Oh, that one killed me.
With the whole Me Too stuff, and like he had to resign.
Yeah.
Andrew Cuomo.
Well, he didn't have to, but he did. I don't think he had
like the Democrats, they, try to, I don't know, to me, they seem more moral because they do resign, even if there's just allegations.
Well, your man Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah. But he got impeached for it. He actually got.
Did that go through though? It didn't go through.
He was impeached, but he wasn't removed from office.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he confessed, and he lied, and he confessed.
Yeah, he told the truth. But these Republican guys, they just got to say, oh, no, I didn't do it. And then everybody's just like, okay, they didn't do it. God bless America.
Well, yeah, but then you have Trump with Stormy, and he pays her under the table. And then somebody, in this camp, with,
you
got your camp, son. They snitched on you, son.
Yeah, and it's like, this fool,
who's in your camp, son?
He's still at Mar-a-Lago, like,
so it's like, I mean, he don't care. He got the money. I'm just saying, it's little things like this, all the drama that should not matter. It's what you do. If Newsom came out and said, or there were some pictures of him in the girls' underwear, who cares? It's all about his actions in front and what he does for the people. I don't care if he wears women's underwear. Who cares? As long as he's taking care of us in a political way and everything's fair and he's doing his business, it shouldn't matter. And and those things are matter to the people, and that's not how it should be.
No, but I disagree, because I feel like if you're in a position of leadership, your personal life matters in what you do.
Okay, I disagree, but okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I just do.
Yeah.
I just think, if, kind of like when we were talking about the other day, how, artists, do you separate artists from the art? Like R. Kelly, like in his personal life, he's been fondling women and men. So, like, do we still listen to his music?
But he put it in the music though.
Huh?
He told you age ain't nothing but a number. He told you in the beginning. He told you from the jump, and you kept listening to the music.
Right. So, I mean, there's certain things that I just can't
He told you
separate.
he's not trying to be bold. He just want to let you know he's got things for you and he can't let go. But
and like Newsom, like being caught at having dinner, enjoying life while everybody else was at home on lockdown. At one of the most exclusive, expensive, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of says something about a person's character. And to me, character means more than your words. Like, it's your action. Like,
yeah, it's your actions. And that's a good example. Good example, Stacey. So yes, he got caught at French line, blah, 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 whatever, right? With 10 other people, right? But look at his actions though. He has programs set up. He's on a mission with the welfare fires. He has a mission statement for reforming the police. That has nothing to do with him being in that restaurant. He's going to take care of the COVID situation. Nothing to do with him being in a restaurant. Okay, he's trying to pull these programs together for us, for the benefit of us. Yes, he got caught in the restaurant.
It was poor judgment. It was poor judgment.
Actions. Again, his actions.
Yeah, but as long as
being in a restaurant.
But he shouldn't be judged this heavily off of that action.
I agree.
And he's being recalled for it, basically.
Because of an emotional situation that people are on. They're in their feelings like Drake. They're being emo. And they're mad, and they shouldn't. There you go. And that shouldn't apply to his actions and what he's doing for California. And that's what we should be focusing on. But we're not. But people aren't. And I get that.
Okay, so what if, yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you, but
Clinton was a good president. He liked getting head in the
he liked getting head in the White House.
Thank you. You said it. That shouldn't have implement what he did for America. You know what I'm saying?
Poor judgment though. Like, people can't be driven by their desires.
Which makes him what? A human being.
Yeah, but you're gonna be judged for it. When you're a leader, you'll be judged for it.
I agree with that. I'm just
like,
what
if
I'm
you
want
to do all that, then you shouldn't be in office. Or what they need to do is make it fair. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, make it fair. Like, if Andrew Cuomo and Gavin Newsom and all them are getting, in trouble for their personal affairs, then Donald Trump should be and Matt Gaetz should be judged for their personal affairs.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
But they're not.
But even with them, it shouldn't.
Congress. They're still in Congress.
I mean,
and Trump may even run for office.
That's up for the people to decide.
After causing an insurrection on the Capitol.
I mean, look, everything's emotional. Like, even with Trump, like you could talk to a Republican and say, but did you think what he did, throwing toilet paper at the Puerto Ricans after the typhoon or whatever? Do you think that was gentlemanlike? And they'll still stick up for him. Yeah. It's all emotional. They don't want a certain person in there or a certain class in there. It's all emotional. It got nothing to do with what he is saying. Oh, 100%.
That was condescending.
That's what I'm saying.
That was so condescending.
That's what I'm saying.
What you gonna do with a paper towel in a flood?
Republicans are on his side though. They bypass what he did and they don't care.
Yeah,
it's because he's a Republican and he's right. Exactly.
Bypass what Newsom did. That's all I'm saying. And he should not be recalled. Period. Vote no on the recall.
That's from Stacy.
No, I can't speak for you. I don't. He still has his ballot, and I hope I convince him to vote no. But I don't know.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
my final word is look. You can look at the other candidates. You could hate them. You could love them. You could do whatever you want. It's about what it's. We only could go on their word, right? We can't worry about the controversy and everything like that. For me, I mean, you could put it in this perspective. This is from me, from the heart of Bishop. You know, a man is in office. He has things implemented. Let him finish it out. This is all a ploy because some babies are like, oh, I don't like what you did, blah, blah, blah. But if you're in this thick of it like I am, I see changes. It's going to take time.
Everything
I see a lot of things going on, and I'm not, and I agree. Like, he's not the best dude, and he made some mistakes, but he's not the best dude. But we have human beings in office, and they're gonna do bullshit stuff, and they're gonna do cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's see things through. What it
don't judge people fairly. Judge people fairly.
Judge people fairly. Don't base it on emotion. This COVID thing affected all of us, all of us. And it's like, we have one person who it falls on the shoulders of. Imagine that, yo. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that, man. You know what I'm saying? A whole California.
A lot of people can't even do it. Yeah, a lot of people can't even.
No, you be like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Think about this too. All these people on the ballot who want to be governors, they didn't want to be governors. They didn't want it. They didn't want this job. This job, they were fold.
They wanted publicity.
Yeah. They were fold in the first week. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we have him till 2023. Let him finish out the ride, or see it through. Let his programs be implemented.
Yeah.
And then we can ride on after that. Talk to me after 2023.
Yeah, because he did a lot of progressive things for California.
He's on his way. It's on the way, guys. This stuff takes time. You know what I'm saying? The crime is in the middle. It's not even great or lower. It's just we had a good minimum right now, and it has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with people.
Exactly. Right? Boom, right there. It's all about people. Like, people, we have the power to change everything. Everything.
Yo, there's programs right now in Venice and all these places that are for the homeless, but the homeless, even for the VAs and the veterans, but they don't want to abide by the rules. Think about that.
Or they want to live off grid, because I had some people living by me.
100%.
And they were out there chilling. They had solar panels. I want you to know
where I am. Solar panels.
They had solar panels. They were watching TV. They were like, they were chilling, like, right.
They have no bills. No, don't have to worry about Social Security number. They don't have to worry about retirement. All they have to worry about is where they're going to boo-boo and where the next food is coming from. That's it.
Yeah, and what I'm saying? No, but they had pods. I was looking. I wish I had binoculars. They had pods.
Yeah, they got them out here. They here exercising, trimming their beard, watching TV, like you said. You know what I'm saying? They're not even begging. I don't know where they're getting whatever. I don't know how they get money, but they chilling. They off the grid. They want to be off the grid. Until you tell them to move, they on the sidewalk with their bunkers, with their man-made bunkers.
Yeah, they only need to stand out for, if they stood out on the corner and was asking for $1 or whatever change every day, did that for 8 hours a day, man, you know how many cars pass them? Like, where
absolutely. I live? 100%.
Like that would be more than a minimum wage worker would make.
Bruh, I'm in Los Angeles
in 8 hours.
Where people are driving Teslas. These same people are getting Starbucks every day. You don't think they could give a homeless person $1 or $5 every day? Yeah. They know what's up. LA's a cash cow for homeless people. Get the fuck out of here.
And it's warm. That's why California. That's why we
convince these people to go into a home where their curfew was like 7 or 8, where they can make 7 or 8 they can make money at 7 or 8 a.m. or p.m. Like, it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a while. You know what I'm saying? What I worry about them is them harming other people and them being harmed by other homeless people or by other random people, because they're very open. But then again, that could happen to anybody. That home invasions, burglary. I could ride my bike across the street and get tapped by some guy driving. You know what I'm saying? I could hit by a car. So it's like it's chance. You know what I'm saying? It's just chance, and they have to let these people live how they want to live.
Yeah. And I think you really tapped on it though. Like, we just got to give these leaders time to do their thing and like figure out what the real goals are, and like is immigration really a problem in California?
I think it is because you're bringing more people in here. And then the other thing with that is some of those people don't make it. They've been here for years and then become homeless. And then they, you know what I mean? And then they get mentally, ill and everything. And that's a problem. LA is the worst because we have a rotating door where it's like we get immigrants, we get illegal immigrants, and we got people trying to be something. Both don't work out.
Transplants, yeah.
Everybody doesn't get it. It has the happy ending, right? It doesn't work out. They get become victims of brutality, abuse, or drugs and all that stuff, and then they're in the streets on Skid Row. Our famous celebrities, good example are the DeBarges,
yeah.
and the DeBarges. Man, like it's just a sad situation. You know what I'm saying? So we can't. I don't know. We can't blame one person for that, but we can watch. We can only. You know what? If you can complain too, you can do something about it. You know what I'm saying? You can take some initiative instead of just sitting behind a damn screen complaining, yeah, and wow. You know what I'm saying? You can make your own garden, your community garden. You can talk to your administration. You set up programs yourself. Do volunteer. You could volunteer. You could set up your own programs. You could do your own shit. You're over here crying about one dude because he went to goddamn Napa Valley. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, you're right. Exactly. And like you said, people have the power. They could do it.
Yeah, you guys
we could do it. We can't rely on the government all the time.
Yeah, you guys are fighting over toilet paper because this idiot said that, and it's like I wish we had the same camaraderie that we had after 9/11. I mean, that was the best unity era I've ever experienced in my life. Where we were all like one. You know what I'm saying?
And it wore off.
Helping grandmas across the street, giving homeless people like cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of programs were made. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, were like selfless and empathetic. You know what I'm saying? Now we're fighting over hand sanitizer.
I don't know, man.
Instead of you're fighting a grandma over toilet paper, son. Like, what kind of a person are you? And you already got toilet paper.
Yeah, and attacking Asian people just because Trump and them were saying it's the Chinese.
The China flu.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. And then cops. It's just a lot of mental.
It's a lot. And we have to take accountability for ourselves.
Helping each other. Yeah,
and we got to help each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Forget like ourselves at this point, because that's what everybody's doing. I mean, protect yourself, of course, but I think we need to take it a step further and like help others too, in a way. Those that want to be helped, or I don't know. I really don't know. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't know the exact answers to any of this, but I think if people just came together and compromised, they could figure something out instead of like wanting to be the first person to fix this, or wanting to be like Soulja Boy. I was the first to do this. It's like, it doesn't matter who does it first. Just do it. Just get it done.
And I'm a real like advocate of being a centrist. I wish people would just listen to what each side has to say, because everybody has good points and everybody has bad points. I don't like how Pelosi handled this whole situation at all. She acted like a baby. Oh, and I'm not with the money situation of giving us the $1,500 or whatever, or what I'm saying, they were negotiating about the trillions of dollars. I'm like, if the Republicans are giving us a good number and it works, let's do it. But you're like, I don't want to do it because Republican or Trump, you hate Trump. Okay, fine. It's like, we're never going to win. We're never going to get anything done because you personally don't like somebody. Yeah, it's not about you. It's about the people.
Yeah, I think she that bill, they tried to tie some other things underneath the bill, so she didn't want to go for it. I can't remember. I don't really totally remember that situation, but
I also don't think they told us everything, so we don't know. That's the thing. It's like I'll give her that. Like I'm sure I'm pretty sure she's fighting for us or whatever or not. But it's like she acting petty too, just like Trump did. They're both acting petty.
But she has a reason to, because these Republicans are different Republicans than when I was growing up. They're on some other. They're based in racism and misinformation and lies, and I have a problem with that.
We can also say that about the Democrats. They don't want nothing to be done because it keeps them in office. They can keep pushing and stringing along, and it's like, yo, we're dying down here. You guys are up here fighting with our lives at stake.
Yeah.
Like, get something done.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like Newsom just on the fact that he by marriage is related to Nancy Pelosi, or was related to Nancy Pelosi. That's why this stuff is deep. You know what I mean? Like that's why they don't like him either, is because he comes from a progressive family and connected. The Pelosi's, they were saying in San Francisco, it's the Pelosi's, the Browns, and the Newsoms. And
look, if you're acting that way, look, Elder is from the hood. He's from South Central, but he just happens to be Republican. If that's all you're worried about, here's another tidbit. Black people were Republicans first. The only reason why they switched over is because of JFK. Do your research, okay? We were Republicans first. Do research.
Yeah, we were.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not saying this to you, Stacey. I'm saying in general, like, if you want to, feel that way about Black people, because he's not the only one. You know what I'm saying? Candace Owens. There's another brother from South Central. He's trying to run for I forgot what he's doing, but there's a lot of right-wing Black people.
There's an Angela Stanton, I think's another one. I don't know where she's from, but she's a Black Republican.
They're Republican, but listen to what they got to say. Don't forget about the fact of their class or their affiliation or whatever, whether they're donkeys or elephants. Listen to what they have to say. We need a big cataclysmic change to affect California. We do. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I gotta say about it.
Yeah. They I don't know. They have some good things that they say, but like I said, if you don't believe in racism and police brutality, I can't even hear you no more. That's just my big stickler. It's like, dude, are you kidding me? And that's why a lot of cops are being indicted finally. So people are being exposed to the truth.
I mean, if you're gonna worry about that, you got to think about, there's gangs in the police too. There's like there's different faction of gangs who are committing initiation acts in the police.
Yeah, the sheriff's department has gangs.
It goes deeper than racism. I think when they say that, they're saying stop thinking about race. Stop having racism stop you from excelling. Black people, brown people, right. Asian. Like, don't and abide by what the police say. If I get pulled over and it's racial because the guy doesn't like half Black people or Filipinos, because I like Filipino. I still can't be like, hey man, what you doing? Like, why are you pulling me over? Blah blah blah. I could film everything, but if he says put my hand on the dash, I put my hand on the dash. If he says
but
don't
even
go,
people that comply get killed or beat up. So
okay, but hopefully that gets like Philando Castillo.
Yeah.
Yes, it happens, but it doesn't happen all the time, and that's the one thing too. Like, we only see it now because, we have video or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't happen all the time. We need to comply. Everything they say, just comply. I think most of the times I see Black people get, in situations because they put themselves in that situation.
No, but look, I think about this all the time. If I'm walking down the street and some cops just pull up right on me, I'm just walking. Yeah. I'm just walking to the park. Yeah. And some cops pull up on me, and just start roughing me up, I'm gonna be like, why
are they roughing you up though? Why are they roughing you up though?
Exactly. You don't even know. You don't know why. And so if anybody, I don't care who they are, if it's a cop, a person, a regular person, whoever, if they attack you, you're not gonna just be like,
oh yeah. But even with that same situation, if they but listen.
No, you gonna be
No. Here's the thing.
I mean, but what if you didn't even know it was the cops, like, at first? So then
how do I not know? They have to say they were cops. What do you mean? How do I not know?
I've seen cops on videos just jump out and start socking dudes up. So,
but how many times does that happen, dude?
I think a lot, because
no, I don't think so.
Because the police force was founded from the KKK. It was started
for the Jim Crow laws. Yeah.
The roots are racist, like
okay. So if we have, so we got black people in the police, and one of them used to be my dad. Why did they let him in? He's black as fuck. Why are they letting the gangs in the police are mostly Mexican gangs? So what are you talking about? That's in the past. We got to think about now. And yes, they need to be reformed. But again, if we're acting up because we think, oh, it's a racist cop or whatever, I've seen I was gonna say your example. I've seen a brother, big guy. They were arresting him. He's resisting arrest. He's wrestling with him. I'm like, dude, don't just take the L and get in the car. Now, because you're big and you're wait. But people are scared because exactly. But on the same side, they're scared too because they don't know what you have. We gotta think that too.
I hear you.
The police don't know what you have. If the police are going off a suspicion and a call, and they're saying, "Yo, there's a man, blah blah blah. He might be armed." If you don't comply, you're in trouble. Just comply. We are already off the rip saying it's a white cop. They're arresting me. I'm going to act up instead of saying, "Yo, it's a white cop. They're arresting me. Let me just comply. I can sort this all out at the station." But they're not doing that. They're acting up.
All right.
That's all these Republicans or black Republicans are saying. That's all they're saying.
See, but I only can speak from experience because I was racially profiled, and I know.
So was I. I've been racially profiled 3-4 times.
I've had lots of friends that are racially profiled.
Me too.
A lot of black
Me
men.
too.
So.
Me too, dude. Me too. And I'll tell you, I have empathy for all of them. But what I'm saying is, for me, the one time I acted up, I got thrown in the car. I deserved it. I'm gonna be honest. I deserved it. The other time that I got arrested or whatever, I complied and I got let go. I didn't do anything. I complied. I didn't act like whatever. I did my thing. They said, "Okay, cool. Don't let me see you." I said, "Cool." But the first time they acted up,
even then putting you on the curb,
100%,
in cuffs,
100%,
even detaining you and putting you
100%. I agree with you.
It's humiliating. Like,
I agree with you, but you know what's more humiliating? Going to jail for no reason. And I'm not going to jail for no reason. I'm going to comply. I'm going to work it out. I can get a lawyer for free. I can get you a lawyer for free or whatever if it gets to that. But they don't want to do the paperwork. They don't want to go through all that. As soon as they say, "Okay, we found the real culprit. This is not the guy," and I gave you my keys. I gave you my wallet. I said, "Sir, I complied. I did everything." Cool. I got let go. I didn't act up. I didn't wrestle. I didn't say, "Why am I getting arrested?" No, I complied, yo.
No,
I complied.
No, it's true. It's true. It's like you got your chances of survival and not being arrested is when you do punk out and just comply.
Yeah, and if you want to call it punking out.
Yeah, I know, but that's
what am I supposed to do every time?
That's how people feel. I think that's how people feel. It's like,
I agree. You know what? You're right. You agree. But I'll tell you one thing. The one thing I did not act like a punk, I got thrown in the back of a cop car.
Exactly.
And if you want to take it, that's more embarrassing than getting arrested on the curb.
Yeah.
I'm in the back of the cop car. That's embarrassing. My face is right here in the window. You can see. Oh, here go getting arrested.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna call one of my friends because I can't remember what happened, but that one time.
As opposed to being on the curb, just with the tie stick, being arrested. Okay, I complied everything, but okay, cool. That's not him. Let him. He's gone. I'm gone. And that's not even embarrassing to me. That's not embarrassing. Embarrassing is getting actually in the cop car on the way to the station, son. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's
that's a gamble. That's a trigger for me. It's not a gamble. Just comply. No, you're right. You know what? You're right. It is a gamble. But
It
if you
really
comply,
is.
it's less of a gamble. If you just comply,
I hear you. I
we
agree.
don't know what these guys are thinking. To be honest, I
They're
mean, we
scared
don't
as
know.
hell.
They're scared
Yeah.
as hell. They're out in the field every day.
Yeah. And that
And the
messes with
people
their
who
mental, I
lie,
think. Yeah.
yeah,
If
they
you're
lie. People
constantly,
lying.
yeah, if you're constantly surrounded by like actors who are just like wild and
Yeah,
crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like you're constantly gonna be on guard, and you
yeah,
don't really
every
have a
time,
good you don't have a good perception of people. Like you don't really
100%.
like like when you're around a cop, you know that they're a cop because the way that they move, like they're very like sus and like not
You mean
very
off duty? If they're off duty?
yeah, even when they're off
Oh, I'm like,
duty.
well, why are you hanging with a cop?
Like
You hanging
well,
around?
no, like they don't talk or that like you could just tell cops like it's interesting. Like if they don't trust you, like you could tell they don't trust you or whatever.
I mean,
But
they're trained on ways to like coerce you and get things out of you, like the truth out of you. So, they're trained for that. But again, I mean, we got off topic again.
but I think
But
there's good cops. Yeah, and I do believe there are good cops out here. But
yeah,
I just wish they stood up more for what's right versus trying to do that blue code or whatever.
yeah. I mean, I saw that during the riots or whatever. Like, I saw a black woman cop, yell at another cop, white guy, for doing some bullshit, and it was caught on film. So I mean, it happens. It's just who knows. That's why I believe in reform. I don't believe in defunding, but I do believe in reforming and retraining. And we got more and filtering out a more intense filtering of
Yeah,
cops. And I
but they
believe in therapy for cops and healthcare. Go ahead.
yeah, but I do I feel like they should be defunded or reallocate funds in some ways and like not respond to non-violent crimes. Like I feel like they should
Oh
leave
yeah,
that.
are we doing that? We're not doing that. I thought we were doing that now. We got more counselors.
Yeah, they need to put the funds into people who respond to mental health issues and
But
stuff like
that's part of reforming. That's
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
real I like that word. I like that word. Reallocating the
reallocate.
funds
Yeah, you got to reallocate the
to
funds.
in the same policing, but like hiring counselors, like you said,
Yeah,
non-violent
for
situations.
non-violent
Yeah,
situations.
you bring a cop if it's a domestic situation, but then again, like I don't know, it's weird because like you don't know if the guy has a gun or a knife or whatever. That's what the cops for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't counsel you. If you come at me with the knife, I'm dead.
Right,
Can't use
exactly.
my words. My words don't shield me from bullets.
Yeah, well, domestic situations, I would consider that violent because that could go either way. For real. That's why you get
Absolutely,
caught. That,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
they're already heated. So that would definitely be under cop.
Yeah,
But I
and
don't
we got to
know.
also
But
remember, like cops aren't they're what are they? They're not the solution. They're a prevention, right? I mean, they like
they're
what I'm saying. Like
reactive. Cops are reactive. They're not proactive.
no, I mean like they don't like they can't fix the situation. They just trying to prevent it, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah, they just I don't know if they prevent it or they escalate. They're supposed to de-escalate the situations, yes.
I just think sometimes we're just biased because we already don't like cops. Unless you have somebody in the family who's a cop, if you're black, whatever, you already don't like cops, and that turns into a whole nother thing. And then you don't trust them, and they could be like there for your being, and you're like, I don't like it because he's a cop.
Yeah. Well, my mom, she was a sheriff for Alameda County when she was younger, like way long ago. I was a baby. But yeah, so I mean,
Younger, like what, at 20 or something?
yeah, she was super young.
Wow.
Yeah, she did the police academy and all that stuff. She would
She
come
became a
home
sheriff at 20 in her
with her
20s.
with her good. But she yeah. So yeah, it had to been.
I
Yeah.
like to. We should get her on here. We should get her an interview like that.
But I don't think she was out in the field. I think she was in the office mostly.
How are you not in the field? You're a sheriff.
Or in the jail, or you know what I'm saying?
That's totally different. Yeah.
Yeah. So she wasn't like out there like that.
So she wasn't a sheriff.
Yeah, for Alameda County. So
she was a sheriff. So she had to be in the grind. You can't be a sheriff without being in the grind.
What do you mean, like being out in the field? I think she just had a desk job. I'll have to look it up.
I guess you're right. They do. They tell you where to go.
Like she was administrative, like in the jail there or something. But so I respect cops. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. Like, so, but I just
why are you saying if you get arrested you're gonna be you know what I mean? Like act overreact. Like what do you
No, I'm just saying if I'm walking down the street and somebody bum rushes me, you're not going to just comply so quickly. You're going to first try to find out who is attacking you.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, but by then the cop is already super hemming you up. So,
but why would a cop do that though?
Exactly, and that's where they go too far.
You just sees you walking it, and then it just tackles you.
Yeah, like this one cop, it's this Black woman. She was walking her dog in Chicago along the water or whatever, and this man, he just I don't even. They have the video. There's like audio of it.
Yeah, there's a video. Okay, he needs to.
He is
in jail.
Yeah, the mayor's looking into it.
Yeah, okay, then that's what happened.
But it seems like it's happening more and more and more and more because of the video. Only because we can see it on video now. But they've been being vigilantes, doing all that crazy stuff back when the Klan was around. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I respect good officers, and I just hope that the good officers do speak up when the bad officers do stuff.
In anything, politics, policing, military, schools, your job, there's good people and then there's bad people. There's people who abuse their positions with a God complex, and then there's others who just want to get the work done and go home and feed their families, play Xbox and have sex. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's two different people, you know what I'm saying? We're just living in this world together. I wish we were all unison. Obviously we're not. So we just got, focus on ourselves and have a little empathy and be righteous and, prosper and have a purpose, you know what I'm saying? And you only can do what you can do for you and yours. And then hopefully we could have an effect for, where we live in this situation, California. And we'll see what happens with the recall. And hopefully we get a good decision, a good, fair decision, and we can keep going and prosper and get over this COVID thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And stop being so divided.
Right. That's the biggest thing. And let's just hope that, say that Newsom isn't recalled. Are the Republicans going to believe the count? Or are they going to have to audit it and do a recount and like, you know what I mean? Because like
we'll do it when we cross that road, but yeah, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, people. Just like, if we believe in democracy, then let democracy do its thing. There's no voter fraud. Like the percentage is like 0.001 of voter fraud. Like,
but I mean, we're in America. They have the right to say that. They have the right to their opinion. So we can. I mean, again, we gotta. If they feel that way, cool. But until then, or whatever. In between that time, Newsom's going to do his thing, right? Man. He's not going to stop. He's going to keep doing his. If they say no and stays in office or whatever, regardless of what people say, Newsom's still going to do his thing. So they can say whatever the F they want to say. Yeah, just like Biden. Yeah, people don't. Yeah, who cares?
But
he'll
these
just
people,
keep doing his thing.
It's just crazy that people don't even believe in democracy.
Who cares? Who cares? Fuck them. Who cares?
But they're causing so much turmoil all over the country right now. From
what turmoil? Only because we let it.
No, trying to like reestablish the voting laws all over the nation.
They tried to do that with the Trump thing. It didn't work. Let them do what they want.
Yeah, they're trying, and it's unfair.
It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, right? If they want to be babies and do that shit, let them do it. We can't. They have the right to do it. I have the right to not believe in certain religions, but there's still going to be churches and mosques and temples and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Because we all have the right to feel the way we feel. We have to accept that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you already know.
There's atheists. There's antagonists. There's alienists. There's alienists. There's agnostics. There's diagnostics. There's diagnostics.
Okay, it's Satanists.
There's Satanists. There's Wiccan.
Lord,
we all have the right to think what they want. We just got to keep going, do what we feel is the right thing. They're doing what they feel.
Yeah, but I feel like people could think whatever they want to think, but when you start saying whatever you want, that whole freedom of speech thing, if your freedom of speech harms people, I don't think.
How is that harming? I agree with that. I agree with that, but that depends on the person.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if people use their freedom of speech to inflict harm or incite riots on others, then
like you got with the not it's not with in the Middle East, you got Taliban have suicide bombers. I can't fault that guy for believing that he's going to be in paradise when he commits this atrocity of killing all these people and himself. That's not me to the side. That's his religion. That's what he believes. You know what I'm saying? He believes in that, just like Christians believe that there's a heaven, right?
Right.
It's the same energy. What can we do? That's what they believe in. So
Yeah, but I feel like crashing is so morbid to gain heaven.
What is?
I said I feel like crashing or being a suicide bomber is so morbid.
But in their head, they're taught.
Right. Yeah.
Same thing with you.
Jihad. The jihadists.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. No, I hear you. But anyways, we better let this one go.
Yeah. I tried to end it and you kept going.
I know. And this one was just too juicy. We couldn't stop.
I was done.
We might do a part 1, part 2, or
this might have to be split in half.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna sit. We're gonna sit through this whole thing.
Okay, well, we're out. Everybody go vote. Make sure you vote, whatever you vote. But I suggest no. But
I said I'm not like that. I'll do whatever you feel, but just please do your research and don't vote on emotion.
Vote on no.
I will never say to do that. But yeah.
Okay, bye guys.